Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today I'll be talking to you about shape tools that are located on the left side of our toolbar right over here. Now, as you can see, first when I right click this, we have different types of shape tools. Today we'll be talking about the rectangle tool, the rounded rectangle tool, the ellipse tool, polygon tool, and lastly the star tool. Okay? So in order to use the shape tool, remember when you hover over here, you can see that the rectangle tool shortcut is M. So the tool's use is self-explanatory. We have to select the shape that we want from here by selecting the right click, and then we can select the shapes that we have over here. Alright, so say that I want to create a rectangle in my artboard. I just select the rectangle tool over here, and then I can just create a rectangle like this. Alright, let me fill in the color with a different color so that you can understand. Say I want it in blue, and my stroke should be black, and let's increase the stroke to a certain degree so that you can understand. There you go. Now you can see that my rectangle has been formed over here, and then with the selection tool I can move it anywhere in my artboard. Alright, so now that you can see, this is what the rectangle tool does. Let me show you the different ways in which you can make your rectangle. Okay, so now let's just select this and delete it and create a new rectangle from scratch. Okay, now this time let me just click on the artboard instead of drawing a rectangle, and you can see that it brings up an option where I can edit the width and height of my rectangle, and over here you can see that I have constrained width and height proportions. Now if I click on that, you can see that it will constrain it. Alright, now let's say that I want to keep it constrained and press OK. Now you can see that the rectangle over here is pretty decent, just like the last time. Okay, let me just select the selection tool, and there you go. There's my rectangle. And now after that, I'll show you how to edit the rectangle. Okay, say you want to make your rectangle into rounded corners, so you can just click on this dot near the corners of the border and just click it and press it further until you have your desired shape. Alright, now say you want to only select a significant corner. For that, we'll go over here and select the direct selection tool, click on this once, okay, and then we'll just press it down, and you can see that this time instead of all the corners, it's just giving me one corner. Alright, so that is how you do that. But if you want to just not do that, you can just use the selection tool over here and then double click it and then do it for the same effect. Alright, you can also use this anchors over here to make your shape big, tall, or narrow, as you can see over here, and these anchors help you in many ways while making your shape. And say you want to make it short or small, rectangle, or the shape over here. So say you want to change the appearance. From here you can select the color of the color fill inside our rectangle. Say I want it to be orange, so I'll select that. And from the stroke, you can select this option, and then you can select the stroke's color. Say I want the stroke to be red. You can see that it changes its color simultaneously: green, blue, dark blue, and etc. And you can also see that we have a gradient color as well, and also we can select from these few foliages as well. Now let's say instead of the fill over here, I want the foliage to be like this. There you go. You can see that changes its color according to my instructions. Alright, now in case you want to decrease the opacity of our rectangle, you can just select this option over here. After that, you can see that it reduces its opacity and the rectangle is a bit blurry, as you can see. Let's just reduce it all the way down. Now you can see that the rectangle is less visible, but not like before. Okay, let's put it back up to 100%. Alright, now that we're done with the rectangle tool, let's go with the rounded rectangle tool. Okay, let's just turn this into a smaller version of itself. There you go. Now for the rounded rectangle tool, right click over here, then select the rounded rectangle tool, and now you just create it. Over here you can see that the rounded rectangle tool, unlike the last few tools, it has a rounded corner. Over here you can see that the stroke over here, it's pretty round. Let me make the shape bigger so that you can understand, and let me zoom in a bit. Here you can see that the shape itself has a rounded corner instead of the rectangle last time, which has a rounded corner itself. All right, so this is the difference between the rectangle and the rounded rectangle tool. Okay, now let's just go back. Okay, all right, now after that, if you want to edit or change the shape of your rectangle tool, you can just select the direct selection tool and say I want to change this specific shape, double click on it, and you can also edit the type of rounding that you want or the corner that you want it to be in. Now let's say I just want to edit this certain corner, I just select this and it will happen. Now let's say I just want to select this anchor over here and just change its shape. Now you can see that changed the shape from that rectangle into this shape. Now say I want to change the anchor over here or path to this certain shape. Now you can see that it changed the shape according to itself. There you go. This way you can create many different types of designs using our direct selection tool. Okay, there you go. Okay, now that we are done with the rounded rectangle tool, let us go forward with the next tool, which is our ellipse tool. Okay, so for the ellipse tool, the shortcut is L. Let's just select that. And the ellipse tool is basically a tool that helps you create a circle or any other forms of oval or rounded shape. Okay, so as you can see over here, the circles like this. Now say you wanted to make a pretty perpendicular circle from the center with the same distance. Okay, for that you just press Ctrl Shift and then you make the circle. Okay, now as you can see, after I press and hold down Shift button, the circle is perpendicular throughout all directions, which means they're similar and they're equal in all directions. The diameters are basically the same. All right, now if you want to create an oval without pressing and holding the Shift tool, just drag your mouse and now you can see that I have an oval. All right, so this is how you do it. And now if you want to change the shape, you can just click on the anchor over here, and then yeah, you can change the shape like that, give it a bit of width also. Yes, that's how you change it. Now say I want to change this circle shape, I can just press on the anchor, double click it, and then make a shape with it. And if you even want to change the shape using the handles, you can do so. As you can see over here, I can also use the anchors to change our circle shape like that. All right, so that is basically how the circle tool works. Okay, let's just use the direct use the selection tool, delete that, make it a bit smaller. There you go, there's our circle tool or the ellipse tool. Okay, after the ellipse tool we have the polygon tool, but before that let's just use whatever shapes that we have learned to create a flag of Japan. All right, so in order to create the flag of Japan, we need two things. We need the rectangle tool and our ellipse tool. So let's select the rectangle tool and let's say our stroke to be black as well. Yes, so we know the Japanese flag represents two colors, white and a red circle in the center. So let's just press the artboard and create a rectangle. There you go. And then let's take our ellipse tool. Okay, press Shift and make the circle like that. And let's say that I want to use the selection tool to bring it in the center. Let's make it a bit shorter. There you go, that's better. Now that we're done with that, let's just Essentials Classic. Now you can see that I have this option over here where I have alignments, transform, and opacity, style, etc. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both of these objects over here. Then I'm going to select a horizontal align center and also vertical align center. Now you can see that the circle is directly in the middle of our rectangle. After that, I'm just going to click on the circle over here and then change the color fill to red. Now you can see that we have the Japanese flag totally perfect. And now we can move on to our next tool, which is the polygon tool. All right, let's just make this image a bit smaller, and there you go. After that, the polygon tool, right click on the rectangle tool, then select the polygon tool, and then let's say I want to create a polygon tool which is perpendicular to each side with the same diameter. So I just hold and click on shift, and then you can see that I have a rectangle over here. There you go. Let's change the stroke point a little low so that it looks nicer there. Okay, there you go. Now let's just select the selection tool and then drag our object to the center. Use the zoom tool, zoom in a bit, and then now you can see this is the polygon tool. Okay, now say you want to increase the number of sides in a polygon tool. After you just make your polygon, just hold the mouse left click and then press the up and down arrow keys in order to select the number of sides you want in a polygon. Say I want to decrease the number of sides, I just click the down arrow. As you can see, after I click that, the number of sides begin to decrease. It always decreases up to number of 3. But if I press the up arrow, you can see that we have multiple polygons, and now it almost looks like a circle, right? So this is how you basically use the polygon tool to create different types of designs, etc. And now you can see that we have quite a design over here using our polygon tool. Okay, there you go. Is this the same function by using it has the same function of using the up and down arrow keys in order to basically increase the number of sides we need for our tool. So now let's select the star tool and then create a star shape. As you can see over here, we have created a star shape. And if you want to increase the number of sides we have for a star, you can see that whenever I press the up arrow key, it always increases the number of borders that our star has, and if I press the down arrow key, it decreases it. All right, if you want to change the shape of your star, the color of your star, you can just click on these colors over here, the stroke, the opacity, and let's say you want to put a style inside it, you can always use these. And over here you can see that we have a drop shadow option, gradient, like that. All right, you can also decrease and increase the opacity from this option over here. So you can see it's decreasing in its opacity, seeing it less. All right, then we can also change the stroke that we have for our star. All right, as you can see, it increases, it shows that the strokes over here are changing. So that is how you use the stroke. Okay, so that is all for this video. I hope you have understood how to use the shape tools, and thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video.